If you are watching this on December 23rd, 2020, then the wipe is tomorrow. My name is Jessekazam. Welcome back to another Escape From Tarkov video, and we're just going to jump right in. So the Battlestate Games podcast just happened. It was a surprise podcast. They just kind of like popped it up and said, hey, we want to do a special Christmas episode. And they announced the new patch and the wipe. So starting from the beginning, patch 12.9, they said, of course, things could still go wrong, but they want to push that patch out tomorrow, December 24th, at around 11 a.m. Moscow time. I'm not exactly sure how long the game is going to be down. And they did confirm that the game is going to wipe. So traditionally, we get a lot more lead time for the wipes, where they let us know there's pre-wipe events. But he said, and we're going to go through some of the patch notes, he said that there's a lot coming with this wipe, a lot of stuff that led them to make the decision that they want to see everybody start from scratch and use the new guns, use the new gear. They've also changed the way a lot of things work. So they really wanted to just reset it and get everybody starting from the beginning. This is what wipes were originally for when new content was out or new mechanics were out, that they really wanted to see how that affected people moving up from 0 to level 40, 50, 60. And then wipes kind of became something that the community wanted. So this was a call from them. Whether you love it or you hate it, it's coming in 12.9. Like we said, there could be delays, but it's most likely tomorrow, and it is going to wipe. So let's go over some of the changes, the patch notes that are coming in 12.9. The biggest one is obviously the Woods expansion. They showed a little bit of it on the podcast. You can go rewatch that podcast if you want. I'm sure they might even put it on YouTube or something. But the Woods expansion, the map that's we all know, it has been redone, reworked with new points of interest and kind of redone. And they expanded it. It's about a little over twice the size of the original map. He had originally said that they were going to increase the player count. He didn't touch on that in this podcast, but I'm assuming the player count on Woods is going to be increased as well. So that is one of the big things. We've been waiting for that for a while, and they are expanding the map. It looks really, really good. Their map design is incredible, so that's going to be bigger and more fun and more stuff to do. Hopefully, some more loot, and the dynamic of the map can change up a little bit. When you wipe now, once you start your brand new character, you're actually going to be able to pick between one or two faces for your character and the voice lines, which we've always been able to do. So that's going to be part of the character creation. Customization isn't like a huge thing, but it's something that people have wanted, which absolutely makes sense. People always want to be able to customize their person. So there's going to be a little bit more of that. They've made some changes to the ammo, and now ammos can be more or less likely to do different types of bleeds. And the example he gave was hollow point ammo, like HP, is going to be able to have a higher chance to do heavy bleeds, which will hopefully be steps towards making it so that penetration isn't the only value we care about. That maybe early on, if you can't get high pen ammos, maybe HP, really low pen, is actually better than medium pen because you can shoot them in the legs or the arms and do some heavy bleeds. We'll see how that goes. Face shields will reduce blindness. So face shields and glasses, if you get flashed, it'll reduce the amount of time and the severity of that a little bit. We'll kind of see how that goes. We don't know a lot about that. He said something about more loot for newer players, like during the first few days of your wipe. You might be actually getting like care packages for maybe like Purpore or Ragman or something like that, which I think is a good thing. We know that long-term, a little bit of loot at the beginning probably is going to make a huge difference. So it's not going to ruin the economy, I hope, but it might help newer players that are really struggling to kind of like keep themselves going. They added some new like face coverings and stuff like that, including Smoke's streamer item, the Smoke mask, which is really cool. They rebalance the weapon mods completely. So this is one of the reasons why he was saying that they wanted to wipe. So all of the ergo, recoil, and all the stats for the mods have been completely rebalanced. So all the meta builds will no longer be meta builds. We're not sure how those things are changing. We're not sure how. I'm actually excited about that. I'm hoping that the weapons become a little bit less of laser beams across the board, but then more mods are viable. So we almost like sandwich it in the middle. That could be really cool, but that is going to be a complete rebalance of how weapons feel in Tarkov. In addition to that, they are changing the recoil skills. So recoil control and then the respective gun platform skill, like the AR skill, both affect the recoil. As you level up those soft skills, your recoil becomes less. And once you can max those skills out, in addition to the weapon modifications, guns are just absolute laser beams. So by reducing that, will hopefully help create a little bit more of a realistic environment. They simplified the Jaeger Quests, which they said was a community thing that people wanted. So he didn't really go into detail on what simplified is, but hopefully some of these ones that are pretty rough are a little bit tamer. And then he said they changed quests in general across the board to make them more, not easier, but more maybe doable. So he didn't really, once again, give examples, and we're just going to have to see that as everybody's going through quests starting tomorrow. But hopefully some of the ones that were just a little bit out there or a little bit frustrating, maybe you have to do more things, but those things are a little bit easier. So the quest might take a similar amount of time, but you don't feel like you're just beating your head against a wall. Once again, we don't know, but that's something that we're seeing. The threshold that puts you overweight has been reduced. So the overweight mechanic is kind of something that's been all over the place. They introduced it. Everybody freaked out. They tamed it down a little bit. Everyone's used to it now, and I think they're kind of reeling it back. So at 35 kilograms, you will be overweight starting on a day one, whereas it was 40. So it's not going to be a huge deal, but they are kind of pulling it back to the little bit more extreme version that I think Nikita wants. So that's up to you to decide if you like that or not. We are getting a bunch of new guns, including finally the Chris Vector, and the Vector is going to be coming in 9mm and 45 ACP, both of those calibers, which is super exciting. So we're going to be getting the Chris Vector 9mm and 45 ACP. They showed that off a little bit. It looks gorgeous. We've been waiting on this for a long time. We are getting 300 Blackout, which is dope. The SIG MCX assault rifle and 300 Blackout. So there's going to be 300 Blackout ammunition that's going to be coming in. That is super exciting. The UMP SMG and the 45 caliber. So we already have a few 45 caliber ammos, but with the UMP and the Vector coming in, I would imagine we're going to be getting much more ammo for that caliber as well. We're getting the Mark 18 mod DMR, which is 338 Lopua Magnum. He said that thing is going to be disastrous. So I hope that that's balanced in some way for availability and price, but that's going to be a pretty insane gun. So super excited about some of those guns. 300 Blackout is something that the community has been wanting for a really long time, and the Vector has been something that they have been teasing for years now. So that's super exciting as well. There's going to be new ammunitions for those respective guns, and there's going to be a whole load of bug fixes. So I'm going to link the official patch notes down below. Obviously, I don't want to read out every single bug fix and every single everything. Hopefully, they're just addressing a bunch of the stuff that we have been wanting to address, maybe some audio changes. We're not sure yet, but that is it. That is kind of the bread and butter of it. 12.9 is coming tomorrow, and it is coming with a wipe. So comment down below if that's something you're excited about or if that's something that you're frustrated about. Normally, they do give us a little bit more leeway, which just helps kind of the community kind of get used to the fact that it's happening, whether you love it or you hate it. But they've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this patch. They're super excited for it, and they made the call. I'm not a game developer. I don't know about that. All I want is for Tarkov to move forward and to get closer to the vision that they want it to be, and it sounds like this patch is going to be that. So whether you love or hate the wipe, it's looking like this patch is going to be really cool. Let's hope that it's optimized and super fun. But yeah, that's it. Let us know what you're thinking about 12.9. And I guess today, spend your rubles, spend some time doing stuff. He did talk a little bit about doing, after the podcast, them doing like a small pre-wipe event where everything is cheap and everything is just like today, you can kind of just do whatever you want in game. And then he also said that over the next few days, I think during patch day, they're going to do like a stream while the game is down, maybe showing off some of the new features. And during that time, there's going to be drops. So just be checking the Battlestate Games Twitter and their Twitch account over the next day or two while we kind of figure this stuff out. So thank you so much for stopping by. I do stream Escape from Tarkov on Twitch. All my links will be down below. I'd love to have you stop by and say, hey, if you like this video, I do a bunch of Escape from Tarkov content on the YouTube channel. You can like this video, comment down below, or subscribe to the channel for more content like this. But thank you so much for hanging out, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.